everybody, Friday afternoon. That means it's Frogs on Friday, and we'll be talking about the employment and jobs market here in New Zealand on YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook Live. We can see your comments, so please make sure that if you do have any questions, you pop them in the comments and we can answer them straight away. My name's Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of Frog Recruitment in New Zealand and People to People in Australia. So we've got a jam-packed broadcast for you today, but before we jump into everything, I should first acknowledge the fact that Jacob is the man behind the scenes. He hates the fact that I mention him every single week. The interesting thing this week, though, is Jacob actually dislocated his toe. So if you've got, if you'd like to send him messages or warm, hope you get well messages, pop them in. I think he'll appreciate it. But the other thing that I noticed today on Twitter this morning, and this is from the mid-north coast of New South Wales, across the ditch in Australia, our sister company over there, People to People, has one of their consultants who lives on the mid-north coast. And check out this tweet from this guy. His name is Keith Williams. Now, Keith is apparently a local councillor there in Ballina. And he can't believe that he cleared part of the dish rack before he even noticed. Can you see what he noticed? There's a bloody python in the dishwasher. So it's really hard to see. But it was amazing. It was amazing. This probably gives you a better idea of what he had in the kitchen in his house. It's not exactly something you want to wake up to with a big carpet python like that in your dishwasher. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with everybody today because I thought that was amazing. So let's jump into it, though. What we're going to be getting into today is our regular numbers section, where we'll be making a direct comparison between Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch for admin and office support vacancies. Then we'll cross to Auckland and we'll talk to Angela from our Auckland office, where she has a couple of vacancies she wants to talk to us about. Then we'll have our regular Wellington update from Peter Crestani, Managing Director of Capital Recruitment in Wellington. And finally, we'll have a look at the results of last week's Twitter poll. That'll be very interesting to see those results actually come through. So let's get going and let's get started with our regular numbers section. So what numbers are we going to look at this week? Well, the first, and I should a quick shout out to ANZ as well. Sharon Volner, I think, tweeted something about this, but there is a link that hopefully we'll be able to share with you, which is on they give a weekly update for New Zealand on what's happening in just for business generally, but they sometimes focus on the labour market, and that's what this graph is showing us. This is the difficulty in finding skilled and unskilled labour in New Zealand at the moment. And this graph, though, I thought it was so powerful to see that this is over a 20-year timescale. So you can see the depths of the GFC. You can see how hard it was to find people during the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. But look how quickly that has bounced back. And that's what I thought was remarkable to see, that normally these type of the downturns lead to extended periods of having easier access to labour, and it's not the case this time round. Interesting, the little blip at the end, maybe it's the current lockdown, for unskilled labour right at the end there. But for skilled labour, it is now more difficult than at any time in the last 20 years. For New Zealanders to hire skilled labour, which is really interesting. So let's have a look, let's drill a little bit into some data from Seek. So what I've got here are 3 different graphs from 3 different cities. This one is Christchurch. It's actually the way, and thanks to Seek Analytics for this data. And what it shows you is the number of job ads that are listed on Seek to this time last year. And for Christchurch, well, really it's actually for the Canterbury region. So that's the way they split it. And the job ads in Canterbury are up 100% on this time last year. Now, you've got to remember, September 20, where we were, so it was quite a difficult time. So, but we've got twice as many advertisements listed in the Canterbury region, but the number of people who are looking at those ads is roughly the same as what it was last year. It's actually slightly less, 2% less. So let's have a look at the same then for, I think the next one is Auckland, 61% up. And you can see that the interesting dip from July, August and September as we've had this decline with the current lockdown. But job ad views are also down 22%. 22% less people looking at 61% more ads in Auckland at the moment. So you can even see with the most recent lockdown in August, September, that the number of people just exit the workforce, that they don't even bother looking, and that's the decline there for the job ads at the end. The last one is Wellington. I thought I'd bring Wellington in here because they're the three, and also because we're catching up with Peter. Job ads up 55%, 54.55%. Job ad views down 12.8%. This is for administration and office support staff, one of the specializations for Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. If there's a specialization you'd be interested in, just let us know and we can share that data as well. I think we've done that with supply chain in the past for one of our clients online here. So 12% down the number of job ad views, 55% up the number of job ads for administration and office support staff in Wellington. Let's have a look at them side by side, just quickly, so you can see how the differences. So you can see that the most buoyant market from this time last year is, I think, Canterbury, followed by Auckland, then Wellington. But Auckland has had fewer people looking at the advertisements now, the same as Wellington and then Canterbury at the end. Very interesting data from Seek, so thank you very much. So let's now move on to Angela in Auckland. To get us there, though, we've got this quick video of, I think, Kirsty's recruiting a position in Auckland as well. So whilst we cross over to Angela, we'll check out this video.
Kia ora, my name's Kirsty and I'm one of the temporary specialists here at Frog Recruitment. I am currently working with one of the leading medical technology companies in the world who are looking for a customer service person to join their team. In terms of the company, they're really investing into your development and your training. You'll get an opportunity to go and spend some time with each area of the business just so that you can have an idea of how all of the pieces of the puzzle come together and that bigger picture. What they're looking for in terms of the role, it's a customer service position, so you will be taking inbound and making outbound calls from healthcare professionals as well as from the sales reps who are looking to make orders. You'll also be keying in a lot of those orders, so it's quite highly administrative as well. They are based in Mount Wellington and they are paying up to $30 an hour. In terms of what they're looking for, you do really need to come from that customer service background and have a really strong focus on giving a customer that great experience, as well as having high attention to detail, because obviously there can't really be too many mistakes in this role. If you do want to get in contact, then feel free to call me on the number shown below, contact me on LinkedIn or send me an email.
Okay, good afternoon, Angela.
Hello there. Hi, Mark. How are you today?
I'm feeling a little bit fat. I think I've got my COVID pounds on. The lockdown's not helping. It's like, you know, and it's Friday, so I always have a weakness for beer on a Friday, which is terrible.
Oh, you deserve it though. It's Friday, end of the week, so that pounds will come off, after we get down. So don't you worry.
I'm going to run with you on that. So, well, thanks for joining us, and you've got a couple of opportunities for us in Auckland, yeah?
Yes, I do. I've got two opportunities to talk to you about and share with our viewers today. So yes, I do.
And tell us more about them.
Yeah, sure. So the first one I'll start off with is electrotechnology tutor. It's working with one of my clients, New Zealand's largest training organisation.
Right.
A fantastic company. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great culture. and values with proven technology capability and innovative approaches to learning and assessment. That's why they are the best in the market.
And what would you need to be suitable for this particular role?
Yeah, so it's a very rewarding role because they will be teaching the next generations of high-tech learners, Mark, and this company has got them queuing up at the moment. So what I'm looking for is an expert in the electrical field that has a background in electronics or electronic security with teaching experience. Ideally, they need to be a qualified electrician or have the relevant of EWRB registration. You might be wondering, what is that?
Yeah, I'm just going, I have no idea what that is.
Looking a bit confused. It stands for Electrical Workers Registration Board. So this is a board that promotes safety to all New Zealanders by ensuring the competence of the electrical workers. It is actually this industry experience that will help enhance course contents and resources to keep students up to date with the industry standards. Not to mention, will give the tutors huge credibility in the classroom.
Okay, and what's the salary? What sort of benefits and salaries could somebody expect with this type of role?
Yeah, great question. It's a very attractive salary on offer, along with generous benefits on offer. So they're based in their very impressive East Tamaki state-of-the-art training facilities, which helps deliver face-to-face training as well as online learning. So the salary we'll be looking at would be up to 90,000.
Okay, great. And if somebody wanted, I can see actually Jacob has put a link to the job advertisement in the comments there, which is excellent. So if somebody, actually, before you give your contact details, you've got another role you want to talk to us about as well, yeah?
Yes, I do. The next role is a digital marketing executive role, working with a charity, which is very close to my heart, whom have been helping Kiwi kids for a better chance to reach their full potential for life over a decade now. So they partner with schools and early childhood centres to give 1 in 5 Kiwi kids affected by poverty, so providing essentials like food, warm clothes, and also health products. Exciting time for them. Their marketing and comms team is growing, so their digital presence is now more important than ever, and that's where this role comes in.
Right, and what sort of salary and benefits for this one?
The salary is paying up to 67,000 plus KiwiSaver. The benefits are very much, working with a very, very creative team, a very collaborative, warm environment, very energetic team, a team that is making a difference in everyone's life in New Zealand at the moment, and they continue to make a difference in the environment, especially in the pandemic world at the moment.
Do you have to work in a similar sort of not-for-profit or charity sector to be suitable for the role? What sort of experience is appropriate?
Right. So I guess the more important thing is that they need to have about 3 to 4 years experience in the digital space. So they need someone that has a digital talent to really share their story and measure that success behind their campaigns. The role has plenty of scope, so giving them responsibility for planning, developing, implementing, and also continuously improving their digital footprints across all social media channels in New Zealand. So enticing more donors and campaigns and reaching out to more audience in New Zealand.
Okay, great. All right, so 2 really interesting and fabulous opportunities there. So quite diverse too in terms of the type of.
They are. Yeah. Yes, very rewarding in its own way. Yeah. Great companies to work for.
I'm sure people have got some questions, and so if somebody wanted to get in touch with you and to have a more in-depth conversation about either of these opportunities, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, sure. So best contact for me would be either via LinkedIn message or email me, which is great. I've got my details popped up right there. Yep. So Angela Y at frogrecruitment.co.nz is my email. Otherwise, contact me on my mobile, which is 021 228 2855.
All the landlines.
I don't remember my DDI, but I know my mobile by heart. I haven't been in the office for a while, so yeah.
Yeah, none of us have.
Get in touch with me. I think for anyone that wants to, now looking for another role in the market, feel free to reach out to me, and for clients that are looking at this live, give me a call if you are seeking to hire.
Yeah, it's the market is definitely moving. It was interesting just to see a few of those stats with Auckland, 60, what is it? What did I say again? 55% more for admin and office support staff, more advertisements than this time last year. And so there's certainly things are moving along. So if you're interested in making a career change or you look to hire somebody, give Angela a call for sure. Great. Sounds All right. Great. Well, it's lovely to have you on Friday, Angela. It's great to see you. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the weekend. And
yes, we will. We're able to have picnics now, not just KFC and takeaways. I know. And the weather's looking beautiful. Yeah. So that's on the list this weekend. Stay safe.
Excellent. Rightio. Thanks, Angela. Now let's cross down. Let's go down south. Let's head to Wellington for our regular Wellington update. And we'll have a quick chat to Peter Crestani, who is the Managing Director of Capital Recruitment, our branch in Wellington. How's the afternoon in Wellington, Peter?
It's not looking too bad. A bit of sun, but it's been a bit cloudy today. We're out of lockdown, and so we can actually go out and do lots of things, which seems a bit smarty pants really compared to what Auckland has been through in New Zealand and what you guys have been through in Sydney. So we can't complain.
No, I did. I noticed that when we were chatting before we went live that you've got the bags packed. You're heading off skiing.
Yeah, it's just right at the end of the season here, and I've only been up a couple of times compared to what I normally would. So I'm really looking forward to it, getting away. And very sad for Australian friends who can't have had a really terrible season. Great snow, but not able to get there.
Yeah, no one could go there. So I'm very, very, very jealous. But let's chat about the Wellington market. So what's happening in Wellington? How is the market now?
Well, I think those figures that you talked about and you showed on the slides are really reflective, not just of the finance and admin space, but also a whole lot of other sectors across government. We're experiencing exactly the same thing. We've got clients who have advertised roles. We had one yesterday advertised several roles, hasn't got the quality of people that they were looking for. The applications aren't good. So we're trying to supplement their process. That's in, say, the government sector. Then you've got also other sectors which are exactly the same, like infrastructure. For instance, we're working with some in the water area, water sector, and they cannot get engineers for love nor money across a whole lot of different genres like water, civil, horizontal and vertical. It's just so difficult. So those figures aren't just about finance and admin, but right across the board.
Yeah, and hiring now is a multi-channel approach, isn't it? It's not just about placing an ad up and waiting for somebody to respond. It's much more nuanced than that. It's about networks. It's about different channels to access staff. It was interesting. Our former marketing manager for the group now lives in Milan in Italy, and I was chatting to him yesterday afternoon, and he's just secured himself a job with I think it's Australian, not Kiwi, nail polish firm. So he's going to be the digital marketing person based in Milan, working for this nail polish firm in Australia. So it's accessing talent these days is much more complicated than just popping an ad up, I think. So, but you've got a couple of opportunities to talk to us about as well.
Well, we've got multiple opportunities at the moment, Mark, and we've got some with similar sort of skill sets that we're looking for. The first is these are government sector roles. We're looking for people who've got Crown entity monitoring experience. So we've got several clients that are looking for that. So that is, you're working in a government agency and you're monitoring the performance, both quality and financial performance of Crown-owned organisations that have boards to them. So you need to have financial nous. We're looking for experienced people. So anyone that knows in this space will know that Crown entity monitoring is the key. If you haven't got it, I'm sorry, we can't work with you on it, but it's not an entry-level role. These are experienced opportunities that we're looking for. We're also looking for sector funding and infrastructure experience. There's a lot of changes going on in the government sector around, like, for instance, water reforms, big infrastructure projects, other changes across large sectors of the organisation that the government's running. And so we're looking for people with policy and funding and financial experience as well at senior level. So these are permanent jobs, both the Crown entity and the funding, and you're probably looking 120 to 140k sort of range from senior, right. Looking for seniors and principals in the roles. So, and also looking for any policy contractors, anyone who's in policy, who's looking for an hourly contract coming to the end. We'd love to hear from you as well, because we've got multiple opportunities here.
With those policy roles, would they consider somebody working remotely?
They will consider some working from home, but not 100% of the time. Mostly it's come in, do some work, because you might have to be there 2 or 3 days a week just to know what's going on, but then later on. And often in those sort of opportunities, it's come in, you work in the contract role for a month or 2 months in-house, and then you've got a sense of what's going on, you know who to talk to, where to get the information from, and then working from home is another viable option. But certainly that is something that is far more common that we're dealing with. And we're trying to work that out up front with candidates as well. So if you do have requirements that you want to work from home 1 or 2 days a week or whatever it is, let us know straight up so we can let the clients know so that they're aware right going through the process.
Excellent. All right. Well, it's great to chat with you again. Enjoy the skiing on the weekend.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks again with another Wellington update. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's now, I'm just conscious of time. We've got 45 seconds. Let's quickly have a look through last week's Twitter poll results. So here they are. Is it okay to befriend your co-workers and boss on social media? Well, there was it's 50-50. Who know, like, well, yeah, maybe, no. 50-50 in New Zealand. So it is the Twitterverse. We had a few hundred votes there, but yeah, 50-50. I'm surprised by that one. Let's have a look at this week's poll. See what we're going to come up with this time. So how would you feel about returning to the office if masks aren't mandatory? So this has come from a policy change. I think it's in New South Wales in Australia, where they've just randomly changed their roadmap, and they've said, well, okay, you can now come back to the office, but masks aren't mandatory. No problem with it. I wouldn't want to. Well, I'm not sure. 6 days to vote on this one. Let's see what the Twitterverse in New Zealand says about that one. Thanks for joining us for Frogs on Friday. It's great to have you here. You'll see us again, same time next week, 12:30 on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We'll see you then.